Okay, here we are then. It's 15:27 on the 17th of October 2014. I just wanted to record something before I got out of these dirty clothes that I've been wearing since the 18th of September. That's a bit of a long story, this. I can't relate it all because there's just too much content, but I'd like to begin by saying that thank you to all those who've sort of supported me through the last few months. The actual journey, I guess, started in 1951, 4th of July, when I was born, allegedly. And then, you know, things happen in life, and here I am, 63 years old. Not very well now. Very tired, very weary. Still got spirit, still got fight, still got intent. Good intent, I think. It's totally unrehearsed, as I'm sure you can tell. Just make it as I go along. Anyway, this chapter, I suppose, began on the morning of the 18th of September this year, when I left Chepstow in South Wales, United Kingdom, Great Britain, to fly with a friend called Malcolm Hicks from London Heathrow to Toronto, and then from Toronto on to Detroit for 2 days, and then had ongoing tickets to Seattle to pick up a boat called Dreamweaver. I should tell you a little bit about Dreamweaver. She's a Van der Staap designed 41-foot ketch, built in the UK about, it was actually in 1979, which is 35 years ago. Now, I had a contract, gentleman's agreement with the owner of that boat, which at that time was lying in Anacortes. I'd researched, several hundred. If I said 300, that may be pretty accurate, I don't know. It's a lot of boats. And I shortlisted it all down, I thought and researched. I was in the UK while I was doing this. But it wasn't so much the location of the boat, it was more the boat. And I found the perfect boat, in my opinion, to do a non-stop circumnavigation of the world to commemorate the 50th anniversary of a wonderful chap called Sir Francis Chichester, who in 1966, 48 years ago, set sail from, I'm not sure, Portsmouth, I think, south coast of the UK, for his solo non-stop circumnavigation of the world attempt. I believe it was the first one. And he did it in a boat called Gypsy Moth. Specially designed boat, designed and built for him. Lucky chap. He thought. Anyway, it's my intention to do a similar voyage to commemorate the 50th anniversary in 2016, 18 months away, whereby I hope to set sail from Rio de Janeiro, in between the Olympics and the Paralympics. So I think he left Portsmouth on the 27th of August, and I was going to leave Rio on the 27th of August, exactly the same day, probably the same time, UTC, and start my solo non-stop circumnavigation of the world in Dreamweaver. That was why I was going to Seattle this time, but I stopped over in Detroit, Michigan, to see a friend and pick up a trophy for a yacht race that we all won on the Lake Huron. called the Port Huron to Mackinac race. It's sponsored by a company called Bell's Beer. Anyway, that race was back in July. That's when I came over to see Gene Weaver and arranged with the owner, Mr. Fred Kaufman, who's a retired US Navy commander. And we agreed the price of $70,500, all agreed in writing, deposit paid. He knew I wanted that boat, and he knew that I had to realise some assets to buy that boat, because I'm not cash rich, but I'm asset rich. And I went back to the UK to realise those assets through my bank, which is Barclays Bank in UK, and they told me no problem, it'd take about 6 weeks, which is okay, they have things to do anyway. But Barclays let me a merry dance, and I didn't have to raise the cash through them in the end. I went somewhere else. So we were flying back, me and Malcolm Hicks, to Seattle, where the boat is now lying, or it's been sold, because when I set foot on American soil, shortly after that I was told that the boat was no longer available to me. Even though I'd invested about 60,000 Great British pounds sterling, advertising the campaign, doing all the advertising, launches, TV, blah blah blah. It was my money. I just had to get there and pick up the boat, shake the guy's hand and set sail south towards Guatemala, where I hope to be there long before Christmas, where I'd park her up and then maybe return to the UK to spend Christmas with my family. My family, that's another story, you know, my family. Who's my family? I've got 2 kids, Rosie and Charlie Seddon. They're my family. And Rosie, my firstborn, is 17, I think, coming up in November the 10th. I've not seen her for 14 years or more. I know, it's pretty hard. Anyway, every cloud has a silver lining, so they say, and I live in hope that one day she'll see her dad, me, Keith Seddon. I've got a son called Charlie, and I've been seeing him. I think I saw him after 12 years. Re-established contact, having spent, I can't remember, 35,000 GB pounds sterling to go through the courts to win a legal battle to see my children. There was no reason why I couldn't see my children that I could understand, other than the fact that their mother and their grandparents, Tony Ernest Bland and Carol Louise Bland, have just been downright difficult, to say the least, in allowing me to have contact with my children, even though I won the legal right to have unsupervised, unrestricted contact with my children. I'm going to stop there for the moment. Sorry.